Falling in love with love is falling for make-believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Caring too much is such a juvenile fancy. Learning to trust is just for children in school. I fell in love with love one night when the moon was full. I wasn't wise with eyes, unable to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out with me. Falling in love with love is falling for make-believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Caring too much is such a juvenile fancy. Learning to trust is just for children in school. I fell in love with love one night when the moon was full. I wasn't wise with eyes, unable to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out with me. Love fell out with me. Merci.
Magnifique, wonderful. Entering on this music, I wish I could slide like Fred Astaire, but I can't. Welcome and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. Welcome to this 2024 Research and Doctoral Awards ceremony. A special welcome to the award recipients, the donors, and the doctoral graduates. We will be together during an hour and a half, and you will see, well, all the winners coming one after the other before you. You will also see the doctoral students in a few seconds, let's say. And also Samantha Anderson, who from 6:30 will talk with you about her journey from EPFL to her status as CEO of DePoly, which was recently named Best Swiss Startup of the Year. So this evening will mainly consist of awarding, thanking, sharing joyful experiences with inspiring people. I know it's a lot to bear, but it will be really enjoying, you'll see. We will make you get through this in the best possible way. And for this, we can count on the EPFL little band you've just heard. Amazing, quite amazing. I think we can applaud them again. So it's a shortened version of the EPFL Big Band. It was founded by PhD student and trumpeter Johannes Weibel and plays a hand-picked repertoire of jazz. You also have alto sax Antonin Mignot, tenor sax, Alessandro Sinibaldi, trombone, Alessio Chariot, guitar, Nicolas Bruguière, piano, we have Enrico Eberhardt. Yes, thank you for the, we don't know where the piano. The bass, Charles Luce. And then the drums. Where are the drums? I don't see, okay. And the vocals, Anne-Michel Savoie. Just here. So they will come later, but first I suggest that you discover the most amazing collection of hats, caps, and brain. Please make a thunderous applause for the doctoral students. Welcome to all the doctoral students. Are you all here? Shall I make a check? Shall I call all of you? Okay, let's call. No, sorry. It will be at the end of the of the evening. Don't worry, we'll have the names of each of you. So this is your night, obviously, but it's also the night of the researchers who will get some awards. So for this part, we need here someone on stage who knows deeply in his heart, blood, and soul what it is to do research, someone who knows what it's like to be regularly told at dinner parties, aren't you tired of searching? Have you finally found something? Or have I lost my keys? Where should I start searching? And most of all, where should I stop searching, researching? Anyway, so he has answers to all these questions. Please welcome on stage Vice President for Research, Andreas Mortensen. Welcome. Hi, Andreas.
Hi.
So, you're a full professor at the Mechanic Metallurgy lab at EPFL. On the EPFL website, you know, there's a line, fields of expertise. It's only keywords. I love this. I don't know if you've ever spent time reading these keywords. So I've read some of you, and they are just beautiful. Let me say, processing, solidification, metal, matrix, composites, and that's my favorite, dislocations, damage, fracture.
Absolutely.
I mean, this could be the pitch of the next Iron Man movie, you know? And that's your life work. So, you know the hero of Iron Man movie?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
What is?
Who is the hero?
Yes.
Some big muscular person with a lot of mechanical stuff.
Yes, and his name is?
This I wouldn't know.
What did they teach you at MIT? I don't understand. Tony Stark, sorry.
Metal events.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So you earned your PhD from the MIT. One memory from this ceremony that we're just attending.
My absence.
Oh, they all remember it. They called me.
That's my memory. That's my memory. I doubt they noticed.
So you didn't get the hat?
Nope.
Anyone?
No, I was doing a postdoc
has a hat?
abroad.
Wants to, no.
That's okay. I did get a hat because I did come back as faculty, and so there you did get the hat for the graduation ceremony.
Right. So Andreas Mortensen, what would you? I'll let you have a discourse and introduction for the research part.
With pleasure. So we'll award several prizes today. I think the important part to remember is that these were all selected in a process that was very difficult because there were many other candidates. So I'd like to say a word for the other candidates whom you will not see today. There were several of them. The choices were difficult. What you will see is an iceberg as seen from the surface of the water. There's a lot more going on here. Many other candidates of great excellence whom we will not see today, but whose work I would encourage you to discover together with all the other exciting things of which you will only see a glimpse of today with the prizes that we have the great pleasure of awarding, thanks to all the donors also here present and whom I thank with the bottom of my heart for enabling this ceremony. Shall we call the first laureate?
Sure. So let's start with the research prizes. The first one is the ZKS prize. It's by the Zeno Carl Schindler Foundation. It was created in 2005. It rewards postdoctoral research work that makes a significant contribution or an innovation of international scope in the field of environmental sciences or technologies having a positive impact on the environment or sustainable development. So this ZKS prize goes to Niels Redeker.
For his research entitled Metabolic Regulation of the Cnidarian Algal Symbiosis. And the prize is awarded for revealing the metabolic interactions leading to the breakdown of the coral algal symbiosis, helping us to understand and mitigate coral bleaching. As you prepare to start your own research group, could you reflect on how working in a country without sea shaped your work on corals and reefs?
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this incredible honor. As a matter of fact, the timing of this award couldn't be any better. Today happens to be my last and final work day here at EPFL. After nearly 5 years of being a postdoc in Switzerland, tomorrow I will move on to Germany to start my own very little research group. So this award really is the perfect finale to an amazing chapter of my life here in EPFL. Of course, I understand. Of course, I understand that a research award for a marine scientist here in Switzerland is a little counterintuitive, but as in all things in research, the key to understanding the ocean's great mysteries lies in studying the smallest possible details. And as such, I could not imagine a better place than this university to study corals and their reefs. It's this interdisciplinary environment at this university, coupled with excellent research facilities that allow us to dig deeper and explore new ideas. And as such, I would really like to use this opportunity to thank the Zeno-Carl Schindler Foundation for funding this prize, my supervisor Anders Maibaum for his never-ending, unwavering support despite all my crazy moments in the lab, the Laboratory for Biological Geochemistry for being amazing friends and colleagues throughout these years. It's really been an amazing time. This recognition is a testimony to a team effort, and as such, I'd like to thank you all for it. Thank you very much.
So,
Picture, yes,
Mr.
please,
Benoit
Niels.
Schneeberger from the Zeno-Carl Schindler Foundation. Thank you. On se met dans ce... Voilà, on se met là. You in the middle. There we go. Thank you. It is yours.
Thank you.
So congratulations to Niels Redeker for this ZKS prize, and thank you to the donor. So next prize is Latsis University Prize. It's offered by the Latsis International Foundation, a non-profit public interest institution created in 1975. And this prize focuses on a significant contribution and innovation of international scope in the field of science and technology. And this prize goes to Giulia Tagliabue.
For her amazing research entitled Light to X,
Congratulations.
Redefining Energy Transport and Conversion with Nanophotonics. And here's the Laudatio. For exceptional achievements in nanophotonics for sustainable energy generation, pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge and contributing directly to the solution of some of our most pressing challenges of today. Could you tell us what is nanophotonics and how it can be used in energy devices?
Yes. So nanophotonics is the science of controlling and manipulating light at scales that are 1,000 times smaller than our hair, so really at small scales. And what we try to understand is how can we concentrate the light energy and how we convert it. And our friends are some small building blocks that we call optical nanoantennas. They have a size which is intermediate between the atomistic structure of a material itself and the wavelength of light. And at this intermediate scale, they allow us then to capture light and control the processes with which energy is converted. And so, for example, here you see an image of some of these optical nanoantennas, some gold nanodisc that are made by Fatma Kiani, that she will be awarded later. And in this case, when we shine light, we can generate some charges, and these charges can drive some chemical reactions. And we tried really hard to understand how different colors of light can give different chemical reactions, and how this interplay can really be used to develop new ways for obtaining sustainable fuel and feedstock generation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
If I may call Ms. Eva Maria Martin from the Latsis Foundation.
Yes.
Thank you. You're in the middle. Thank you.
So congratulations to Giulia Tagliabue, who received this latest university prize. Now, next prize is Haenny Prize. Haenny was created in 2001 by René Haenny in memory of her late husband, Rodolphe Haenny. It supports research in the field of metallurgy and the material sciences. Oh, you could have got this one, Andreas, no?
I'm a bit old for that, you know.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
But then you wouldn't be on stage. That would be sad.
Well, I'm afraid the laureate will come on stage.
Okay. Thank you for this. So this 2024 Haenny Prize goes to Dimitris N.
For his renowned contribution in research, bridging disciplines across material science, biogeochemistry, and civil engineering, as well as his exemplary dedication to innovation in teaching, education, outreach, and mentoring at EPFL. His pioneering research on bio and geosourced binders addresses critical environmental challenges such as infrastructure protection against climate risks. That's a long list, huh? Now, in a field that's traditionally reliant on minerals, most of them mined, could you tell us what inspired you to innovate using biogeochemistry in the field as distant as construction materials?
Yeah, thank you. What inspired me? Well, inspiration came from an observation, and it's an observation around mechanisms which exist beneath our feet. And you know, there's a hidden world down there in groundwater, in soils, that can kind of shape everything above it. So that was the time when I became fascinated with the idea of using natural mechanisms to precipitate minerals instead of going to nature and mining these minerals and eventually use them as construction materials. This observation now became a platform with over 5 PhD students, collaborations within the unit I work in at ENAC and ETH Zurich. Next year we're going to showcase this material in the Architectural Biennale of Venice, so we're very excited about that. And thanks so much for the honor, and I'll make every possible effort to carry this honor with pride in my future steps. Thanks so much.
Thank you, congratulations.
May I call Professor Michel Rapin so that we can give the prize on behalf of the Haenny Foundation. Yeah, bravo.
So, Dimitris N, congratulations again for this Haenny Prize. Theses also have their own prizes. What was yours on, Andreas, your thesis?
Mine was on what I call the Chinese shoe problem in solidification of dendrites. The growth of a dendrite, meaning a little tree-like crystal of metal in a confined space.
Wow. You hear the silence? Everybody's, wow, I want to read this one. We'll start with...
I'll be glad to send you a copy.
Oh, yes, please. Starting with Chorafas Award, offered by the foundation, Dimitris Chorafas, since 2001. This prize aims at encouraging exceptional works in the domains of applied research. So we have 2 prizes. The Chorafas Prize one goes to Rishab Iyer, whose thesis is...
called Latency Interfaces for Systems Code. That was a short one. But the laudatio is longer. For introducing the notion of latency interfaces in computer systems, along with supporting techniques and tools. Such interfaces will dramatically improve the ability of engineers to build, with much less effort, software systems that meet their performance requirements with high precision. Could you tell us a bit more about your research?
Congratulations.
No, this is not the
PhD
candidate. The PhD candidate is right there.
Well, unlike Andreas, I'm not too old to be on stage, but I'm also not the winner of the award. I am his advisor, and Rishab is joining us remotely from Berkeley.
Hi, Richard.
It's cold in Berkeley.
Thank you for the good honor and to see this in an illustrious list of former winners. I am computer systems. What that means is I studied computing infrastructure. That was the line versus that millions of people use every day. Now, the specific question I looked at as part of my PhD was, how do we build these systems to have consistently low response times or latencies? And this is an important question because given how integral these systems are to everyday life today, it is no longer sufficient for them to just return a response. They must actually do so in a short amount of time. And so to do this, my dissertation introduces the concept of a latency interface. The easiest way to think of an interface is to think of it as a contract that defines the latency of each individual part of the system. And so once you have these contracts, it allows developers to understand the performance behavior of the system much better and build systems whose end-to-end latency is much more predictable. And so in my work, I show how to define these contracts for a wide variety of systems. Finally, very quickly, I want to thank my advisors, George Kandea, who's there, and Katrina Argiraki, who I don't think is, for all their advice and support. This award belongs to them as much as it belongs to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Ciao.
Okay, this one, the Chorafas Prize 1. We have a second one. It goes to Alireza Modirshaneshi.
For his thesis, Seeking the New, Learning from the Unexpected, Computational Models of Surprise and Novelty in the Brain. And the thesis director is Wolfram Gerstner, and the Laudatio leads for creating a systematic mathematical framework for the scientific notion of, quote, surprise and novelty, unquote, in the brain. How has artificial intelligence shaped your neuroscience research and success?
Thank you very much. We are very lucky to live in such an exciting time in the history that artificial intelligence is flourishing in many different fields of science. Particularly in neuroscience, it has changed the way that we see the brain in the ways that we could not imagine before. In my work, specifically, I develop methods of artificial intelligence to precisely describe how surprise and novelty influence our brain. It's truly an honor to receive this award, but my PhD work could not be possible without my amazing collaborators. I would particularly would like to thank my PhD supervisor, Wolfram Gerstner, as well as my experimental and theoretical collaborators. And yeah, a big thanks goes to the Gerstner lab at EPFL because they made PhD life worth living. And yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
So we can stand right there. And you may want to hold the prize. Thank you. Bravo again.
So congratulations again to Alireza Modirshaneshi for this Chorafas Prize. And now it's time for the ABB Prize. It was created by the house Asia Brown Bovary. This prize rewards an original scientific work in the domains either of energy, this is for the odd years, or of computing, automatic and telecommunication, so it's even years. And this year it goes to Stanislav Sergeyev.
For his thesis entitled Plasma-Based Electroacoustic Actuator for Broadband Sound Absorption, the thesis directors were Professors Hervé Lissec and Pierre van der Geinst, and the Laudatio leads for his pioneering work combining plasma physics, acoustic engineering, and active control. His, quote, plasma acoustic meta layer, unquote, concept is a game changer in soundproofing techniques, allowing for the first time sound wave manipulation without resorting to any tangible material. So could you please tell us how this technology works and what impact you hope it will have?
Sure, thank you. First of all, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup pour cette reconnaissance de mon travail. I'm truly honored to be here and to share a little bit of my work with all of you. Indeed, we enjoy living in a quieter and more comfortable environment without using the headphones or earplugs. And I have developed a device that can absorb noise in a very wide frequency spectrum, from very low to very high frequencies. And by electrifying the air particles, ionizing them inside this device, like you see here with this beautiful glow, we can give them an electrical charge and move them in a controlled manner as soon, as fast as the electrical command is sent. We call this thing a plasma acoustic metal layer. It's a thin layer of plasma. With our control system together, it can interact with sound and reduce noise. And I would also like to thank all my colleagues and my supervisor for their valuable support, because this work indeed involved a blend of theoretical, practical, and engineering knowledge, which together made all these things possible to demonstrate. Thank you again.
Thank you again. It's my pleasure to call Dr. Till Uymen up, Head of ABB Corporate Research in Switzerland. Take center stage.
Give me the mic. Yeah, you can take this.
I can tell you what it is.
Thank you.
So congratulations again to Stanislav Sergeyev for the ABB Prize. And now the Hausmann Prize. This prize rewards a PhD student who have completed an EPFL PhD thesis in the field of mechanical engineering, electricity, or physics. And the winner is Guilherme Miliato Marega.
For his thesis entitled 2D Nanosystems, Applications of 2D Semiconductors for In-Memory Computing, under the directorship of Professor Andras Kish, and the Laudatio reads for his groundbreaking contributions to electronics based on 2D semiconductors, in particular the development of logic in-memory circuits, artificial neural networks, and the first large-scale integrated circuit based on molybdenum disulfide. Now, how can you build a microprocessor with an emerging material?
Thank you very much for the introduction. So in the recent years, we all saw the rise of AI, but in the consequence, there was a rise in the power consumption of the computers. Data centers nowadays are now a significant amount of our global carbon emissions. And to address this problem, we try to explore a new emerging computer architecture that combines both computing and memory elements, and which offers significant benefits for energy efficiency. In my research, I explored a material called molybdenum disulfide, which is only 3 atoms thick. And we first prototype a small flash memories, the same one that we have in our phones or pen drives. And then we started scaling this up, creating a small accelerator, artificial neural network accelerator. And then packing this together up to 1,000 devices, we created a larger processor, paving the way to create more powerful AI processors. I would like to thank that this work is not only done by me, but also for the whole support of my supervisor and all collaborators of my PhD. And thank you very much for the award. It's an honor.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I guess it'll be the two of us standing right there. I can stand on that side. And here, I recommend that you take a hold of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
So this was the Hausmann Prize going to Guilherme Miliato Marega. Congratulations again. So we have given 7 awards so far. It's good, but it's not enough. So we will give 2 more. They are coming, but this will be after a little break from the EPFL Little Band. Yeah,
Oui, oui. Pennies in a street, falling leaves a sycamore, moonlight in the morn. Icy finger waves, ski trails on a mountainside, snowlight in the morn. Telegraph cables, they sing down the highway and travel each bend in the road. People who meet in this romantic setting are so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze, wobbling of the meadowlark, moonlight in the morn. Sycamore, moonlight in the morn. Icy finger wave, ski trails on a mountainside, snowlight in the morn. Telegraph cables, they sing down the highway and travel each bend in the road. People who meet in this romantic setting are so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze, wobbling of a meadowlark, moonlight in the morn. You and I are moonlight in the morn. Moonlight in the morn.
Thank you. Thank you to the EPFL little band. So Professor Andreas Mortensen just left before I could say thank you and remind to send me your thesis on Chinese shoes. I have noted. It was quickly noted, but yes, I think we can applaud. Yeah, we can applaud Andreas Mortensen. The EPFL also has its own doctorate award. It was established in 1993 to distinguish the work performed during a doctoral thesis at the EPFL and to encourage particularly qualified researchers. The criteria for such an outstanding thesis, its originality, the impact of the results, like publications in international journals, the presentation of the work, but also the amount of hair lost and weight gain. No, I'm not sure about that. But, to present these awards and possibly take these measurements, I don't know, I need the intervention of one of the best mathematicians we have here. At least she's the one working the most in interaction with other sciences. She is also Associate Vice President for Postgraduate Education. Please welcome Professor Annalisa Buffin.
Thank you.
Welcome. Do you remember your own ceremony of this, yes, PhD ceremony? Do you have one memory?
Well, it was, there was no ceremony like this, so unfortunately I did not have a hat, but it was a discussion of my thesis in front of everybody, in front of my family, and it was a great honor to be able to show a little bit what I did.
Actually, we have a movie here. No, I'm joking. We don't have it.
I hope not.
So, do you know, yes, now we have time. Yeah, I was wondering, do you know who said, live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever?
Gandhi.
Yes. Did you apply it? Did it work?
I try to apply it still now, every day, and I think it's a good message for all the students. And of course, for everybody, yeah, for all the students, yes.
Thank you. So I leave you, maybe, do you want to, shall I announce the winners first? Okay, I'll do that. So the EPFL Doctoral Awards, the prize one goes to Syed Mahmoud Hamze Zayabari. Congratulations.
Syed receives this prize for his thesis, Unraveling Sub-Mesoscale Processes Associated with Meso and Basin Scale Gyres in Lake Geneva, under the supervision of Andrew Barry. The prize is awarded for uncovering and identifying and explaining processes controlling multiscale flow patterns in large temperate lakes, as well as their implications for mixing and water quality. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I have a small question for you, and the question is, what is the role of hidden water movements in large lakes like our lake?
That's a very good question, and I will try to answer that. Generally, in my thesis, I investigated the 3D-dimensional dynamic of mesoscale and sub-mesoscale process in Lake Geneva using field observation, numerical simulation, particle tracking, and also remote sensing imagery. By combining this method, we develop a novel framework that can address several questions like how, when, and where should we do the field campaign in order to measure a specific hydrodynamic feature. For example, based on this method, based on this novel framework, we discover how large scale rotating water masses like cyclonic and anticyclonic circulation can create a smaller pattern, sub-mesoscale phenomenon or chimney-like upwelling. This hydrodynamic feature are limnological fairs, and you can see an example of this process on the slide. These hidden movements are crucial because they mix oxygen, nutrient, helping lake ecosystem preserve. And also they can also isolate water masses and mix and trap active and passive tracers such as phytoplankton or pollution, and thereby affecting the biological process too. In a changing climate, this kind of process can play an important role because they can affect the depth at which aquatic life can exist. And the depth that this feature are not a surface feature, they can reach hundreds of meters below depending on the season. Generally, this breakthrough
not only enhances our understanding of lake, but also help in designing better water management strategies. And at the end, I would like to thank my supervisor, Professor David Andrew Barry, and also the supervisor in shadow, Professor Ulrich Lemin, and especially I would like to thank my colleagues at Ecological Engineering Laboratory. They really helped me, especially during COVID lockdown. We measured this pattern for 3 years. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Huh? Please, I ask you to hold. Yes. Thank you. Congratulations.
So this was the first EPFL Doctorate Prize to Sayed Mahmoud Hamze Sayabari. Congratulations again. The other EPFL Doctorate Prize goes to Samuel Mendes Leitao.
Samuel receives the prize for his thesis. The title is Time-Resolved Scanning Ion Conductance Microscopy and Single Molecule Spectroscopy, and under the supervision of Georg Fandner. The prize is awarded for his developments in high-speed scanning ion conductance microscopy and the invention of scanning ion conductance spectroscopy. So I have a little question for you. What was the focus of your PhD work, and what did you find most exciting about your research at EPFL?
Yes, please.
So the focus of my PhD was to develop a microscope that can perform live cell imaging and resolve the cell membrane at the nanoscale, and can do it in a non-invasive and label-free way. So examples of those relevant processes that this microscope can tackle are, for instance, viral or bacterial cell infection, where the first steps happen at the cell membrane. And so on the left, you can see an image of a neuron cell that is a topographical image where you can see all the structures of the membrane. And later, we modified this same instrument that you can see there in the middle to perform a very unique measurement that we call scanning ion conductance spectroscopy, where you can translocate a molecule through a nanopore and get a signal that can reveal the information of a protein and DNA structure. So what I enjoy the most during my thesis was for sure to build this instrument from concept to prototype, and I didn't do this alone. So here I really need to thank my thesis supervisor, Georg Fandner, and also all my colleagues at LBNI, and of course all the collaborators that contributed for this project and that created this collaborative environment where the electrical engineer can work with the mechanical engineer and the control system engineer to create this type of tools that can tackle challenging biological processes. So thank you, it's an honor.
Excellent, thank you very much. You come with me. Congratulations again.
For this EPFL Doctorate Prize, Samuel Mendes Leitao, congratulations again, thank you. Now we are approaching another long-awaited moment of this ceremony, which is the celebration of graduating doctoral students. But Annalisa Buffay, I think you have something before to say to these amazing doctoral students.
Yes, I have a little speech. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, welcome, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. It's an honor for me to stand before you in this incredible moment for you and for the school. There are here about 100 graduates, Some of you got their PhD almost a year ago. Some others are just fresh. And I ask you to raise your hand and to help me and everybody to recognize you. Just show up your presence. Thank you very much. So today we celebrate not only the completion of a PhD, which is, of course, a truly remarkable accomplishment, but also the beginning of an exciting and impactful future for all of you. And I think we should start taking a moment to reflect about what brought you here, in fact. So PhD is not just a degree, at least the way I see it. It's a journey that tests the limits of your perseverance, demands intellectual courage, and often asks for more passions than you thought you had. You have spent several years solving complex problems, asking questions no one dared to ask, and contributing new knowledge to your field. You have experienced the high of discoveries and, of course, also the challenges of the setbacks. Yet you are here, sitting proudly among your peers, having heard your title of doctor. Really big congratulations to all of you. Because this moment is monumental for you and for the school. It represents not just the accomplishment, what you have accomplished, but the kind of person that you have become. You are a problem solver, a critical thinker, and a leader in your discipline. It also symbolizes a step into the next phase of your life. Because as much as today is about celebrating what you have achieved, it's also about looking ahead what is next. And I'm sure some of you are asking, well, what's next, in fact, for me? Well, my answer is never in your life the world has been as open in front of you as it is today. So you absolutely have to take advantage of that. You have accomplished a lot, and you are in the position to, you can position yourself where it best suits you. So really do not compromise and try to go for your dreams, because I think this is the right moment for you to actually do that. The world is facing challenges that demand innovative solutions. Challenges that require knowledge, skills, and resilience that you have developed during your PhD. Whether you're heading to academia, to industry, or to entirely new ventures, your ability to think deeply, to act decisively, and to contribute meaningfully will be more critical than ever for the entire humanity. Your PhD has prepared you not only to ask questions, but to tackle uncertainty with confidence. It prepared you not just to lead, but to inspire others to think differently. Whatever path you choose, remember that the most important legacy you can leave is the one of impact. Impact in your field, impact in your community, impact on the society. And as we prepare to mark the transition, we come with a symbolic moment, that is flipping the tassel. Flipping the tassel is a well-established tradition in Western universities, and it comes with a little explanation that I want to give to you. So with your head, the tassel on the right means that you are under the protection and the responsibility of the school, and in particular of the doctoral school. While the tassel on the left means that you are autonomous and ready to move away from your school. So now what we will do is that we will symbolically move the tassel all together, okay? So I kindly ask you to stand up, and I try to wear my hat for you. Let's see if I can. Okay. Okay. Here we are, ready? You should place the tassel to your right, of course, okay? And then, all together, we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, and we flip the tassel.
Wow.
Congratulations to all of you.
Yes. Looks much better on this side. I don't know why you didn't put it this first. So now, dear all graduate doctorate students, you will have a new experience to live because there's no movie to watch tonight, but we will directly jump to the end credits, you know, when you try to see your name if you're working in the movie. So it's your case. So when you will see your name...
I haven't finished.
Yeah, it's afterwards.
It's afterwards.
Who made this?
I have finished for now. Okay, good.
So, but no, don't leave, Annalisa. You'll come back in a few minutes. But we have now this moment where you will see your name on the screen. And so please, when you see your name, you stand up, you shout, you cry, whatever. But I want to express, you have to express yourself. It's a now or never, okay? So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen twice. So, EDAM, Advanced Manufacturing, Dr. Vincent Verlaine. Yeah. EDCB, Computational and Quantitative Biology, Dr. Subham Chaudhary. Dr. Irene Lamberty. Dr. Cyril Pulver. Dr. Anastasia Theodoropoulos. Yes. EDA, Architecture and Sciences of the City, Dr. Éloi Bernier. Dr. Sarah Formery. I can't hear you, I don't know. Dr. Johan Gouffroy. Dr. Celia Kupfer. Dr. Nazana Rezae Ogazi. Dr. Adam Zvitek. Dr. Xingjian Ye. EDBB Biotechnology and Bioengineering. Dr. Veronica Sanson. Dr. Laura Grazeman. Dr. Moritz Hofer. Dr. Tanya Hübscher. Dr. Amelia Lalou. Dr. Xiaoxiu Li. Dr. Yin Zilin. Dr. Anthony Marchand. Dr. Simon Finn Mayer. Dr. Danashi Medagoda. Dr. Francesca Pontanari. Dr. Georgios Rovas. Dr. Ophélie Rutschmann. Dr. Till Rieser. Dr. Julius Winter. EDCE, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Dr. Ghazaleh Eslami. Dr. Diego Hernandez Frel. Dr. Zemzi Malia. Dr. Marko Pejatovic. Dr. Aline Schob. Dr. Armin Zygmunt. Dr. Simiao Wang. EDCH, Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Dr. Xenia Brilling. Dr. Antonio Krisnandi. Dr. Pauline France. Dr. Mouna Adiji. Dr. Anastasia Komarova. Dr. Annabelle Martin. Dr. Myriam Yasmine Pougin. Dr. Asli Sain, Dr. Zonglan Sun, Dr. Alexandra Teslenko, Dr. Evangelia Wagena, et Electrical Engineering, Dr. Alireza Amir Shahi, Dr. Saleh Bagher Salimi, Dr. Mohammad Hossein Bahari, Dr. Loris Di Natale, Dr. Giulia Domigiani, Dr. Clara Galimberti, Dr. Francesco Guerini, Dr. Yazaman Izadmer, Dr. Vera Korshvenyuk, Dr. Igor Kropsyuk et Dr. Hatef Otroshi. Now, EDE Energy, Dr. Johanna Becker, Dr. Samane Daviran, Dr. Fateme Kiani Shavandi, Dr. Sohail Massoudi, Dr. Jonas Schnidrig, Ethic, Computer and Communication Sciences, Dr. Maxim Andrushenko, Dr. Melika Bedjati, Dr. Maya Remami, Dr. Alireza Modir-Shaneshi, Dr. Farzad Pourkamali, Dr. Benedict Tran, EDMA Mathematics, Dr. Andas Keya, Dr. Leonardo Santoro, EDME Mechanics, Dr. Omid Ashtari, Dr. Lars Blatny, Dr. Daniela Brito Mello, Dr. Yves-Marie Ducimetière et Dr. Héloïse Fuselier. EDME Microsystems and Microelectronics, Dr. Gianluca Barbruni, Dr. Jad Benserir, Dr. James Bourrelli, Dr. Hong Chi Han, loud, Dr. Mohammad Javad Karimi, Dr. Pune Mohagek, Dr. Gloria Poro, Dr. Sylvain Chalère, Dr. Yashwant Visa, Dr. Minglo Vu, Molecular Life Sciences, Dr. Anita Bodach, Dr. Alexia Carboni, Dr. Yahya Mohamedzadeh, Dr. Aaron Petruzzella, Dr. Lian Smeding, EDMX Materials Science and Engineering, Dr. Lucille Chassa, Dr. Madi Hijasi, yeah. Dr. Alexandre Luton, Dr. Francesca Oldiati. Dr. Yungfeng Kiao. Dr. Kushdeep Sharma. Et in neuroscience, Dr. Jonas Braun. Dr. Alessandro Ciuiono. Dr. Loredana Compagna. Dr. Mathieu Gauthier. Dr. Victor Lobato Rios. Dr. Maëlan Ménétré. Dr. Stephen Schneider. EDPO Photonics, Dr. Yao Chen. Dr. Ekin Kizilkan. Dr. Nyazi Ulas Dink. Dr. Rongrong Tiang. Dr. Ozan Yaka. Dr. Ze Tsong. EGPI Physics, Dr. Mina Akiani. Dr. Andrea Cavaliere. Dr. Claudia Colandrea. Dr. André Donadon Servel. Dr. Marco Hartmann. Dr. Peter Ixini. Dr. Giovanni Piccioli. Dr. Johanna Wangzik. EDRS Robotics Control and Intelligent Systems, Dr. Pasquale Longobatti. Dr. Mustafa Mete. Dr. Philippe Chouchert. Dr. Valentin Vuist. Already? Oh, it was short. So now it's your time.
Yes.
I'll let you introduce our next talker.
So I'm very pleased to introduce our next speaker, Pauline Franz. She's a doctoral graduate and in the doctoral program of chemistry and chemical engineering. We have seen her name passing in the list. And she spent 4 years at EPFL, and those 4 years have been marked by an active and invaluable contribution to our academic community. Pauline, in fact, wore many hats at EPFL. She was a representative of the intermediate body at the EPFL School Assembly. She was board member of ACID, and she was also member of ADCH PhD committee. Because she was not, this was not enough for her, she also organized an EPFL ETA summer school that was extremely successful. So I would like to ask Pauline to join me on stage to bid farewell on behalf of all the doctoral graduates. Pauline, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, friends, and proud family, and most importantly, welcome PhD graduates, class of 2024. Today, we celebrate together as a community. We are united by years of research and some occasional moments of doubt. But here we are, we made it. And we made it to the top of the mountain. My time here has been shaped by a commitment. a commitment to strengthening the voice of the scientific community. And my motivation, like some of yours, has been to leave this place just a little bit better than how I found it. And it is my pleasure and my honor to address you today both as a graduate and a representative. 4 years ago, or a bit more, we began this long hike together. And EPFL has not just become a professional home, but also a testing ground, both emotionally and intellectually. And we made exciting experiences along the way. We collaborated, we invented, we patented, we published, and we pushed the current boundaries of knowledge. And we all had our moments of triumph, the moments of, yes, it worked. And I can vividly remember the excitement that I had when I was presenting the very first poster at an international conference, or when I looked through the microscope and made an observation that no one has ever seen before. But we also struggled sometimes, and we had long nights over experiments and paper deadlines, and we were trying to make it fit into 24 hours while getting enough sleep and buying groceries on time. And to those of you who, on top of that, walked the extra mile, to those of you who became involved in community building and representing PhD student interests, to those of you who organized proactively countless events, you made a real difference, and I thank you for that sincerely. A great example of how proactive engagement at EPFL has an impact is the existence of this very ceremony. It was an initiative by the PhD student representatives of the doctoral programs a few years ago. And in this light, I have a message for the members of the EPFL management that are here today. A lot has been achieved in recent years, and I'm very grateful for that. But keep listening to us when we come to you with constructive criticism. Ensure we have a seat at the table when the decisions affect us. And most importantly, act when actions are necessary. This will make the initiatives by our and the coming PhD student generations much more sustainable. Today we celebrate reaching the summit. It has been a rocky hiking path with some great views and some steep climbs. And I want to acknowledge that also some of us had heavier backpacks to carry than others. Therefore, let this ceremony be the moment to be proud on what we have achieved. Congratulations to all of you, well done. But perhaps for you, some of you might be also wondering, was it all worth it? The long hours, the sacrifices, the frustration? Or for some of you like me, leaving my home country and learning a new language? And I say yes. Yes, it was worth it. And to understand why, I invite you to think bigger. In a world where terms like alternative facts or fake news exist, in a world where noise gets more attention than content, our critical thinking and problem-solving skills that we learned here at EPFL are more important than ever. Let us embrace the privilege of having a PhD from EPFL, on the doors it opens and the social standing it provides, and take on the responsibility to become voices of reason, of innovation, and of integrity. Voices of future leaders, and holding high the values that we learned here. And from the summit that we climbed, we not only see what's behind us, but we also see what's coming. In a few moments, we'll hear from Samantha Anderson about her very inspiring journey after EPFL. And her story shall remind us that whether in academia and industry or a new path, we have all the tools to find our way. Let the moments we made at EPFL, the skills we learned, the friendships we made, and the international network that we developed here be the basis of our next steps. I could not be more excited to hear about your stories in a few years. Let this graduation be a beginning. And for my fellow musical fans, let me finish in the words of Hamilton. There's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Pauline in France. So now we'll have another inspiring speaker. It's important to have role models when you are in mind, when moving forward in life and career, not to compare or to compete, but to keep the conviction that you can do it because someone else did it. I don't know who Ambrogio Fasoli, who was your role model? We have time for confession. Yeah, did you have one? Professor Ambrogio Fasoli. Well, I think we can applaud Professor Ambrogio Fasoli.
I could mention Maradona maybe, but maybe it's not appropriate tonight. I would say maybe my father, who was also a teacher and professor, and was really devoted to the university and different generations. So I would say that happened for me to be a role model.
Okay, thank you. And Madonna. So maybe you took the wrong path in life. You don't know. Anyway, the woman we are about to welcome on stage is not Madonna. She has something of a Wonder Woman, I would say, if you can imagine Wonder Woman with training as an organic and material. What am I taking this? I don't need it. And chemist, materials chemist with a doctorate from EPFL and without ridiculous outfits that we know from Wonder Woman. Yet she is a runner. And sometimes, you know, marathon runners, they allow themselves to wear rather questionable outfits. Anyway, that's another topic. So she was born 36 years ago in Canada. She is an organic and material chemist, as I said, by training, with over 10 years of experience and a PhD from EPFL. In 2020, she founded with 2 partners her own company, DePoly, in Sion, which aims to massively increase plastic recycling thanks to a new patented technology that that was developed at EPFL. A few weeks ago, in September, it was named the best Swiss startup of the year. As CEO, she has successfully secured over $15 million in international awards and grants for the company. The company has around, well, last week it was 30 employees. Now it's 35. I don't know, maybe in a few hours it's 40. I don't know, it goes very fast. And DePoly will build a first demonstration plant in Monté next year, and others will follow quickly. Please welcome on stage Samantha Anderson. Thank you very much.
So good evening, everybody. I want to thank the Doctoral School and Anne Lorganac for allowing me to speak in front of such a distinguished crowd of graduates. To start off, massive congratulations. You've climbed the hill, you've hiked it, you've seen the view, and now you are the next generation of thinkers, of innovators, and of leaders. A lot of what has already been talked about today, I think, is applicable in the next phase of our lives. Everybody thinks, for example, that a PhD is really easy, right? You are going to find a research topic, you are going to write some papers on it, hopefully get it into a really good journal, defend yourself against reviewer number 3 because he or she is always the worst. Then you're going to defend it in front of your peers, and eventually you will graduate. But a PhD and the next phase of life is all about discovering new questions, challenging old answers, old questions, and most of all, perseverance in the face of ambiguity. You are all here today because no matter how difficult it got during your careers, your academic careers, getting those papers out, finishing those deadlines, climbing that hill, you chose to stay curious, resilient, and that is going to be your superpower moving into the next phase of your life. Some of you had already spoken about what you plan to do. Some of you are going to new schools, either as a postdoc or a professor. Some of you might be heading towards business or industry. And some of you just might be taking a vacation because it's been a really difficult 4 years, and probably you deserve it. So all of this is totally fine. But when you go into that next phase of life, challenge yourself. This is the opportunity to follow that unwalked, uncertain path. This is the time to be comfortable with being uncomfortable because, like everything in life, like a PhD, the next phase is always going to be perseverance in the face of ambiguity. And those unexpected challenges, those detours, those rocky paths, whichever path it is that you take, might lead you to a path that you thrive in, that you never thought you would thrive in before. And touched on already today, in the face of social media, in the face of TikToks and Instagrams and Facebooks and Metas and everything else that's out there, it is very easy to get caught up in external validation, external markers of success, titles, awards, acclamations, view counts, whatever is that kind of thing that people are chasing. And while all of these accomplishments are meaningful, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to stay grounded in your own values. This will help you far beyond any achievement, any accolade, anything in life, because staying grounded to yourself is going to allow you to get through those highs and those lows of moving to a new place, learning a new language, and tackling a challenge that you never thought that you would have to tackle before. So I encourage everybody here, define success on your own terms, not others. What do you stand for? What role model do you want to be? What goals do you want to accomplish? And let this guide you in life through the next phase and kind of hold you to that ground and make sure that you succeed even though you might feel like you're underwater at some points. And also, as touched on before, I think one of the biggest things that people have to remember going through whatever experience it is setbacks are not failures, even though they might feel like it at the time. We have all had setbacks. PhDs are not easy. I'm sure everybody had a data set out here at some point which made absolutely no sense, probably led to some really cool discovery or some new paper or seen something that nobody had seen before. But as Thomas Edison has said, I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that it does not work. When you do find yourself in those hard times, because you inevitably will, it's very natural, go easy and be kind on yourself. Surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up. Find that community and embrace it. Seek out mentors, coaches, community peers, and always remember that after the dust has settled, take a chance to step back, look at what you just went through, because hindsight is always 20/20. You'll go through something that will feel absolutely chaotic. You'll be just underwater. You'll have that moment of relief, and then you'll be able to look back and go, actually, that's a really good life lesson. I should do it differently next time, or I should take that and apply it to something else. And also remember that you are EPFL alumni now. This is a global group of people. We're everywhere. Sometimes you'll just find us at like random meetings that have nothing to do with science whatsoever. But we're a community that is here to welcome you in, to take your ideas, to listen to you. And also there's services that are offered for networking, events, and career development, so please take advantage of that. I cannot state how many times that I have had to use networks, coaches, mentors, to get through something, to get advice, to bounce ideas off of, and that should always be your sounding board. So I don't want to take up too much time tonight because this is your night and this is your celebration, and I've heard that there's an apéro afterwards with potentially better beer than SAT, but I'll leave that up to the coordinators for that. But remember to hold on to your curiosity, your perseverance, your resilience, and that power that you have to inspire the people and the community around you. Even though sometimes it might not feel like it, you are all pioneers and experts in your field, and you're equipped with everything that you need to go to that next level, to hit that next milestone, to complete that marathon, to climb that mountain. Anything that you're tackling, you will be successful in regardless of what it is. So be bold, be compassionate, and never stop asking that question that we've been asking since the start of our academic careers, why? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samantha Anderson. So as you said, it's time to ask questions. So do you have any question to ask to Samantha Anderson on her path, on her work at EPFL as CEO of DePoly? So you have mics here, no? Well, I have one anyway. So please, no, yes, you have one here. Go ahead. I assure you the reception won't open before. I mean, we need to have questions. No. Yes, please, go if you want to go to the mic, yes.
Hi, thank you. A question for you as a former researcher and now CEO of a startup. What challenges and what similarities do you face between the research world and sort of this corporate investment-driven world?
I think the learning curve is almost the same because typically when you go into a PhD, it's a new topic that you probably haven't studied before. I came out of my master's doing air-free chemical, Suzuki-Mariana cross-coupling reactions, going directly into metal organic frameworks, which not entirely overlap. So there was a large curve in what is it, how do I do it, what are the next steps, and planning. And it's the same thing going into the business world. It's how do you do a financial plan? How do I talk with customers? How do you address and show ideas to a global population, not just your research peers? So it's a lot of the similar mechanisms between the two.
Thank you. I saw another arm. Yes, yes, you can go. Yes, please.
Sorry about that. Thank you very much for very nice words. I have a question. How long did it take to you between you finished your PhD and you've got this idea, I need to do a startup? And what was this thought that it's now I need to start it?
So I actually had the idea during my PhD. So around 2018, there was a bunch of journals that had come out with, there was the general public journals about animals washing up in the ocean with plastic in their stomach. I think a lot of people had seen this. On an academic side, there were papers talking about microplastics in newborns, and it was kind of like the kind of first-ish phase of academia reporting on it and this black box of what's going to happen to us. So during that time, I had talked with my two co-founders and had said, hey, I'd be interested in tackling this. If we can get the chemistry to work, are you interested in doing a startup? Our CSO, Chris, said, absolutely yes. The engineer, Bardia, was a little bit more pragmatic and said, get it to work first, and then let's discuss on how we're going to scale this up, because I know engineers prefer data up front, so I did it in parallel after that. Between 2018 and 2019, when I graduated, I was doing both my PhD and working on the startup at the same time.
Yes, please, if you want to. Yes? Okay. You speak loud.
Yeah, I am absolutely not a marketer by any means. I can talk to customers, but getting across that goal line is very difficult. So we actually hired a chief commercial officer for that. You have to, my struggle with it was always, I can talk about the really scientific aspect and I can show why the product is superior. But you have to also get it to the level where they have to understand, like you have to sell it to them, right? You know, this Wolf of Wall Street thing where it's like, I'm going to give you this pen, sell it back to me. It's kind of that dynamic. And so if you have it, that's great, use it. The market is very important to focus on. But if you need help, reach out to somebody immediately and bring that talent in, because it'll really help later on as well.
Yes, please. Are you still involved in every single hiring? No, just so that everybody can hear.
Yeah, so my question is, after hiring 35 people, are you still involved in every single hiring, or you step back?
Yeah, I try to be as best as possible. Sometimes it doesn't fully work, but I try to at least have a first 30-minute chat with them to see like what they're like, who they are, get to know them. Probably not on a technical level, but more on like a does the personality and does the person fit with what company culture we want to kind of make? So yeah.
Who else? Any question? Okay, I have one actually. I was wondering what was the best advice you've been given during your journey at EPFL, maybe?
Actually, it was right when I started. I went out for lunch with a postdoc that is no longer in the lab, but I was in Baron Smith Labs for this lab at the time, sorry. And I was with Wendy Queen for lunch. And I forget the topic and what we were talking about, but one of the things that she had made a comment on was in these cases where you're uncertain, where you get in this kind of spiral of like, what's going to happen? What is the nuclear option? Is it like you're so frustrated you're going to quit your PhD? Are you just going to drop it? Like, what is the outcome of that? Because more than likely, whatever you picture in your head, that's not going to happen. And actually, it's probably not as bad as you think. So yeah, I've always kind of kept that advice. So if I'm in these situations where, you know, if it's hard, somebody else would have done it, but I'm still kind of struggling to grasp it, then it's like, okay, worst case scenario, you know, something's delayed a couple months. What is that actually going to affect? Probably not that much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Samantha Anderson. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So please, I'll call Annalisa Buffa and Andreas Mortensen. Please come on stage again. Thank you. Would you have a word of conclusion? Annalisa Buffa, what would it be?
Well, it has been wonderful to see you here today. So my word of conclusion goes mostly to the graduates. This was it's your celebration. I hope you liked it, and I really want to thank you for being at EPFL and to congratulate you for all your success. So again, applause for the laureates.
Thank you. Andreas Mortensen, maybe a word of conclusion also?
The obvious word of conclusion, many thanks to the sponsors of the prizes that we have had the pleasure and honor of distributing today. If it weren't for you, there would be no prize ceremony.
Thank you. So thank you to all, congratulations, thank you to the donors indeed. So we have, thank you also at the EPFL little band that we will hear again. Please note the presence of the EPFL alumni stand just here, and there's also a photo wall here if you want a picture with Andreas and not only. With, we invite you now just to the reception. Have fun, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.